everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We're having a great day. Today we're back inside the office and we need to talk about the new ZR1 versus the Lamborghini Revuelto. Yes, this comparison, it had to come your way because from the last video, I mean, we've got so many supporting comments. Very interested and eager to hear about how the Corvette ZR1 stacks up against the Mustang GT-D. Also, I got an email today talking about where the status of my application to purchase is at. So stay tuned. I'm going to update you guys later on what it all says regarding me reaching out to purchase that new crazy Ford Mustang designed for the racetrack, straight out of GT3. Anyways, back to the point of this video. Yep, we need to talk about the Lamborghini Revuelto. This is a 1001 horsepower hybrid V12 Lamborghini, which replaces the Lamborghini Aventador. The Aventador was such an incredible car. I really enjoyed the entire soundtracks that those cars offered buyers. Plus, from my time testing out the Lamborghini SVJ, the Aventador SVJ, it truly is a driver's car on a whole different spectrum. Having 770 horsepower with a naturally aspirated V12 is just insane. It really is insane. Then, when you use that entire formula of a high revving V12 that's naturally aspirated, then you throw it on a new platform with hybrid tech. You're able to boost that power. Also, the engine has been updated quite drastically. You have a brand new designed V12 in the new Revuelto. Now you have 1001 horsepower, which is, it was groundbreaking when I first saw this vehicle and heard about it last year. Now, we have a Corvette ZR1 that doesn't have any electric hybrid system. It doesn't need any of that stuff. It has more power using twin turbos and a V8. I'm stunned about the whole thing. I didn't expect to see this one coming. The Revuelto is Lamborghini's hypercar. It's an incredible car, so I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just sharing my enthusiasm right now because this is getting very entertaining. I think all of these brands are doing such a fantastic job to give us the greatest supercars and hypercars ever. You know, 2024 has turned out to be a fantastic year. Let's find out how the 1064 horsepower Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 stacks up against the 1001 horsepower Lamborghini Revuelto. First off, we need to talk about the horsepower. Obviously, the Corvette has the win. Will you notice 60 more horsepower out of the Corvette? I really don't know. You have to realize the way these two cars operate are quite different than each other. One is an all-wheel drive vehicle, the other is going to be a rear-wheel drive car. Therefore, when you launch the Lamborghini Revuelto, you're going to feel the force in the front axle and the rear axle, which should give you, theoretically, a faster launch, a quicker launch out of the dig versus the Chevrolet Corvette. Because when you have 1064 horsepower, you have to find a way to really put all that power down onto the ground as effectively as possible. This can be very challenging. One solution the team could have to minimize the amount of torque ripping up those rear rubber tires on a launch is by making, I think, taller gears, longer gears. Therefore, when you're launching at around 3,000, 4,000 RPM, you're not using too much of the 1,000 horsepower, right? Because when you compare this against the Corvette Z06, the Z06 has almost 400 horsepower less. Therefore, the amount of horsepower you're getting revving at 4,000 RPM in this new Corvette, it could be pretty close to revving out your Z06 to the max RPM and letting go of the clutch or the brake pedal and then engaging the launch. You have to realize there's a lot more power, a lot more torque at play with the ZR1. They need to find a way to truly optimize the power for the launch. The Revuelto will really have a good advantage for getting on power in corners which could utilize the technology derived from an all-wheel drive system, enabling those front wheels and tires to spin, torque vectoring alongside the rears. You could argue the Corvette ZR1 might have a traction issue compared to the Lamborghini Revuelto. However, in this discussion, in this debate right here, I have a curveball I want to throw at all you guys. The Lamborghini Revuelto does not use Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2Rs. It uses Pirelli run flat tires. When you look at the Cup 2Rs on this new Corvette ZR1, these are quite literally the stickiest compound tire you can buy for the street. It's literally like if you watch Formula One or a racing series, Cup 2Rs are pretty close to what they would call a soft compound tire because they don't have the longevity of the mediums or the hard compact tires. When you look at the Cup 2Rs, they are designed to give you hero hot laps. They were developed off of the Nürburgring. Porsche got into the 6-minute 40-second range thanks to these tires. And they're not cheap. They're not cheap. They're like $3,000 tires. They're very expensive. I went through like 4 or 5 sets on my Corvette Z06 when I owned it. Therefore, when you compare these tires to a standard R compound, it's even stickier. It's got to be stickier though because it's costing more money. When you consider putting down all that horsepower versus Revuelto, I don't know if the advantage of the all-wheel drive system will be as apparent anymore. You have significantly more sticky tires on the Corvette. Let me know your thoughts. For the second stage of this debate, we need to talk about the downforce. The Corvette ZR1 will put down about 1,200 pounds of downforce towards the top speed. This is for the ZTK track package vehicle, which would mean it would put down around 1,200 pounds of downforce, pretty close to 205 miles per hour. If we look at the Lamborghini Revuelto, it's not putting down near that much downforce. It's not meant to put down that much downforce. It's not a track-focused vehicle. This is going to be the replacement for the Aventador, a hyper or supercar you can drive on a daily basis over on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills area, or elsewhere to really show off how you have a V12 in the year 2024. You can't really get these types of cars anymore, so when Lamborghini was making the Revuelto, they tried their best to preserve the emotion that the Raging Bull brand is so famous for. Revving to 95, 100 RPM is just crazy for that Revuelto, and it's significantly a higher RPM than the Corvette, which revs to about 8,000 RPM now. It does look like the ZR1 has a bit of a win when it comes to the amount of total downforce. Thirdly, I want to talk about the top speed. The Revuelto can hit 217 miles per hour. The standard non-aero Corvette ZR1 can hit over 214 miles per hour. We don't know for sure yet if it can beat the record put down by the Lamborghini Revuelto. I would argue to say they are pretty much tied when it comes to the top speed for both this $600,000 Lamborghini Revuelto and the Corvette ZR1. Next, I want to talk about the weight for these vehicles. They are not light, to put it simple. The Corvette ZR1 has a dry weight of more than what I weighed my Corvette Z06 as with full fluids. I weighed my Z06 at 3,600 and I believe 80 or 70 pounds. It says the dry weight is 3,670 pounds. It's important to note that the dry weight figure that they've quoted is not the actual weight of the car you're going to buy. You're going to buy a car that has gasoline in it and other fluids. Therefore, the running weight for the Corvette ZR1, from what I read from Car and Driver, they were quoted as 3,950 for the lightest variant, which means for the variant that has carbon fiber wheels and the other carbon fiber upgrades. I would also presume that is a ZR1 without front end lift because they want to make sure to give the lightest rating possible. You can technically buy these cars without a lot of the extra amenities. So the 3,950 pound curb weight is with the lightest variant you can get of the Corvette ZR1. When you buy a convertible Corvette ZR1, you got to add 100 pounds for that. If you don't buy the carbon fiber wheels, you got to add about 40 pounds for that. I would say on average, the usual Corvette ZR1 you're going to see on the streets without a driver should be over 4,000 pounds and then into the 4,100 plus pound range. On the track, if you are giving a ride to somebody, you're probably going to be in the 43 to 4,400 pound range, all said and done, with having a standard Corvette ZR1. When you look at the Lamborghini Revuelto, they have quoted a dry weight of 3,900 pounds. That means with fluids, you're well over 4,000 pounds. They don't use carbon wheels, therefore the average Revuelto is pretty equal in weight, I would say. When you throw in a driver and passenger, the 4,300 pound or so, you're looking at even more weight than the Corvette ZR1. You're getting pretty close to the mid to high 4,000 pound range. You know, the curb weight of my McLaren 750S in the garage right now is 3,060 pounds. That's with gas. When I jump in it, it weighs about, 3,100 and something pounds. With a passenger too, you're still sub 3,400 pounds. That's just insane. I really hope brands start looking towards making their cars lighter. The Corvette, though, does not cost the same price of a McLaren or a Lamborghini. It's not meant to. Therefore, I can't critique it that same way. I can share my concerns about the weight, but I cannot demand and say it's a bad car because it weighs too much, because it's not meant to be a car built out of carbon fiber. It would not be affordable anymore. Take the facts. I'm sharing the facts with all of you today very seriously to make your own opinion, your own judgment. Because I'm not sharing my opinion that the cars are bad or good. I'm just sharing with you the knowledge you need to know. And based off that knowledge, I want you guys to make your own preferred judgments. With both cars against each other, the ZR1 definitely is a few hundred pounds lighter than the Lamborghini Revuelto. Finally, the last talking point in this video I want to mention is the quarter miles. Both the Lamborghini Revuelto and the Corvette ZR1 will go down the quarter mile in sub 10 seconds in the 9-second range, over 150 miles per hour. They sound dead even, don't they? I can't wait to find out how they compare back to back. Please let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts? How can these two cars be so similar? Not only in horsepower, not only in weight, not only in top speed, even on the quarter mile drag strip. We just got to find out which one is faster on the racetrack. When you combine how the Corvette ZR1 has more downforce and significantly stickier tires with wider front tires, it looks like the ZR1 might have the edge there. However, I'm not taking anything away from that Revuelto. I think it's a fantastic car. I'm a big fan of what Lamborghini is doing. It is a raging bull with over 9,000 RPM that you get to listen to audaciously. I am excited to be a car enthusiast in this year. Stay tuned for my adventures coming up. For Monterey Car Week, there's a lot going down. I can't wait to share with you guys the news. Let me know, who do you have your money on, the Lamborghini Revuelto or the Corvette ZR1? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really does help me out. And subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. While you do that, hit the notification bell to stay with all the new videos coming out. I'll see you in the next episode.